Life before a better way for me was good. You know, I lived with my mom most of my life, and my dad would pick me and my brother up on weekends. I have a twin brother, so we would visit my dad and every other weekend, and it was good. I just remember times of, love and, joy, but they never lasted. I got involved with smoking and cigarettes, and experimenting with different substances at an early age. There wasn't never any steady peace in my life. It's more of just trying to find the next thing that would satisfy. And whether that had been a relationship with a lady or just looking to be that popular guy and have a lot of friends, or that would, just wherever the wind blew me, that's where I would go. That led me to being addicted to many different substances, and ended up getting addicted to crack after high school. And much of my early 20s consisted of partying and using drugs, and took a lot of my early years. And that, for me, was my rock bottom. That's when my time in life got really dark. My grandma told me, when you're at the bottom, it's not always a bad thing, because there's only one way out of it, and that's up. And that really stuck with me when she told me that. I then went to seeking recovery, and then went into addiction counseling that led me back into my addiction. I was just looking for something that would work, something that would help me to stay sober and to keep me sober at the time. And, I found that not a lot of things were working. I've been to multiple different rehab facilities, drug addiction programs, faith-based programs. After seeking for so long and really just seeking with my heart, I found a better way. That's a part of what led me to a better way. I heard about a better way when I was at another program, and this was a faith-based program. I was getting eaten up by bed bugs at the time. They gave me a blanket that was actually infested with bed bugs. So there was this guy. He was a new guy that came in, and we were playing basketball one day, and I was telling him about how I was getting eaten by bed bugs and how I wanted to leave that program. And so I heard about a better way through him. His name was Terry. And he said, I know of a place that's a lot cleaner than this one. And what's the name of it? And he said, A Better Way. So that's how I heard about it. So my very first day at A Better Way, I had never seen anything like it, to be honest with you. And I went into where the office is, and I seen all the pictures on the wall of the different guys that come through the program. And then I seen the Crossing the Switchblade poster on the wall. I met with David Morgan and Bobby Dodd, and they just walked me through the campus. I said, man, this ain't for me. I gotta go. And They said, "What's going on? What's wrong?" And I said, "Man, I was just in my head, just going through a lot. I was sober, I was coming down, but it was a beautiful place. The beds were nice and comfortable. All good things were taking place at the time." The structure at A Better Way this is very, very rigorous. A lot of it I did not understand why it was so strict at times. There were many times that I would get chastised and disciplined, thinking that I was doing something right, but it would be at the wrong time. I really decided to embrace the strict structure and the discipline because I knew that would help me to get through the program if I was to embrace it and submit to it, because I know I wanted to change. The Brotherhood of the Better Way it's something that saved my life. It's guys that pray with you when you need it. And then, we pray together before we do a lot of activities. So that's something that sticks with me. And they're also the Brotherhood. There's guys to lift you up when you are feeling down, or when you make a mistake, or when you fall. You don't have to do it alone. There's guys there that are not down. There's guys there that are there to lift you up. And that's what saved my life when I went out there to relapse. Brotherhood was there to pull me back in and get me back on the right track. If I didn't have them, if I didn't have any of the brothers there at the time, then I would have still been down. The Florida trip, it was interesting. The Florida trip, it showed me words really can't explain, the Florida trip. I was in a place where I was just feeling very blessed at the time to be there, and getting baptized in the Gulf of Mexico is something that I will remember forever. And getting to know Brother John and seeing, just being alongside of him and being that up close and personal with him at the time was a blessing, to be able to see how at peace he was on the beach. And yeah, it was just have fun. Just had a lot of fun out there. The baptism meant a lot to me because that's something that was spiritual that happened. And I like to look at things the way that things happened to Jesus. When Jesus was baptized, he came out of the water and he heard a voice. And when I came out of the water, I heard a voice as well, that said, "Do not lose heart." And that meant a lot to me, to make that open declaration, public declaration of faith. And so it just meant a lot to me. Better Way has been a real blessing to have in life, in my life. Because from start to finish, they've taken me in and they dealt with my my ways, and they've loved me, cared for me, provided for me when I couldn't provide for myself, and shown me a new way to live. And they've helped me to establish a relationship with Jesus which I would not have been able to establish without a better way being here. So better ways being used to change my life for the better.